Hello guys, my name is Shurn and welcome to my YouTube channel, Beat the PTE. And in today's class, we'll be discussing about a topic from the listening section, which is highlight incorrect words. Alright, make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the bell notification icon so that you can get notified as soon as we post videos every week. Alright guys, so highlight incorrect words. So as you might have guessed, this is from the listening part of the PTE academic section, and on your test day you'll generally come across a screen similar to this where you'll be given generally 2 to 3 questions of these types where you will be listening to an audio and you will be following to the audio in the text, and you will be selecting or clicking the words which are incorrect or otherwise which are not present in the audio itself. Right, it's one of the most easiest tasks that you get here guys, and generally on an average you should be coming across 5 to 7 words which are completely different from the audio which you would have heard in the test. Alright, so as you can understand that highlight incorrect words, what are the tasks that's going to be tested here? Since it's a part of the listening section, you'll get some points for the listening score, and since you're following through the text in terms you are indirectly reading the text, it'll also contribute to your reading score as well. Alright, and this is one of the most easiest listening tasks in the PTE academic exam guys, because it's literally like a game and you'll be clicking on the words which you hear incorrectly. That's it. And this is one of the tasks which carries negative marking, and leave down in the comments below on which other tasks in the PTE academic exam carries negative marks similar to the highlight incorrect words, right? So let's see how the negative marking works, right? For every incorrect word that you're able to highlight, you will be given +1 mark. Alright, pretty straightforward, cool. And for every incorrect word or any words that you fail to identify, you'll be getting -1 for that. So try to understand here. So if you select an incorrect word, you'll get -1, and as well as if you fail to locate the incorrect word, you'll get -1 as well. But the bright side of this is that the minimum score that you can get for this particular question is going to be 0. So even if you're that sort of student, right, and select every single word in the given text, instead of getting -10 or -16, for example, you'll only get 0 as the minimum score for this sort of task. Alright, so you won't be given minus points for this sort of task, even if you select incorrect words though, but the minimum that you can get is a 0. So this is one of the easiest tasks guys. I don't want you guys to losing marks on this. As you might have known, if you have attended the first class that we did, where we went through all the important questions at the PTE academic test, you would know for the listening section, the number 1 criteria is write from dictation, and after that is the summarized spoken text, and followed by the third one, which is highlight incorrect summary, which we did in the previous class. Alright, and all the remaining 8 different types of questions in the listening section, the remaining 8 questions in the PTE listening section apart from these 3 are important. They do add to your listening score, but they won't contribute that much significantly when compared to these 3, right? So you have 8 tasks. Out of 8 tasks, 3 of them are critical, and 5 of the remaining tasks are pretty much important. They do contribute some little marks to your listening score as well. All right. So what is the most important tip that I can give for you, apart from the premium strategy that we share to our premium question bank buyers, is that actively listen to the audio which is being played. All right, and locate the words that are incorrectly spelled or incorrectly mentioned in the text apart from the audio. All right. So we will be trying out some real questions today, guys. I do have some audios for you. All right, so the first question, here we go. Generally, you'll be given or maybe around 5 or 10 seconds before the audio clip begins just to pace yourself for this one. So guys, just follow with the audio and pace yourself and correct and note down on a piece of paper the incorrect words which are different from the audio and in the text. All right. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. The first recording, guys.
So far in our discussion of chemical reactions, we have assumed that these reactions only go in one direction, the forward direction, from left to right as we read it in an equation. That's why our arrow points from left to right. Reactants react together to make products. However, this is not exactly how things occur in nature. In fact, practically every chemical reaction is reversible, meaning the products can also react together to reform the reactants that they were made of. So instead of writing that single arrow facing from left to right, a more appropriate symbol would be a double arrow, one going from left to right and one going from right to left. Reactants are continuously reacting to form products, but at the same time, as those products are formed, they remake the reactants. They're both going simultaneously, forming each other. This is what we would call a state of equilibrium.
All right, guys, that's the audio recording. Make sure that you have written down the words which were incorrect in this text. All right, and these are the answers, guys. All right, so I've highlighted the answers in yellow, followed by the correct audio recording, what you would have heard in the audio right next to it in terms of brackets, right? So far in our discussion of chemical reactions, this is what you have heard, but in the text it said equations, so you would have highlighted this. And we have assumed that these reactions only go in one direction, the forward direction from left to right, as we read it in an equation. That's why our arrow, so in the audio you would have heard this as arrow, not arrowhead. So this was your second incorrect word. So points from left to right, reactants react together to make products. However, this is not exactly how things occur in reality. Okay, the actual word in the audio was nature, so it's completely different. So this is your third incorrect word. In fact, practically every chemical reaction is reversible, meaning the products can also react together to form reactants that they were made of. So instead of writing that single arrow facing from left to right was mentioned in the audio, but in this text it's given as right to top, which is incorrect. All right, a more appropriate symbol would be a double arrow, one going from left to right and one going from right to left. Reactants are continuously reacting to form products. So here the audio was about products, but in the text it says produce. So this is your sixth incorrect word, guys. But at the same time as those products are formed, they remake the reactants. They're both going simultaneously, forming each other. This is what we call the state of equilibrium. That is what you would have heard in the audio, but the text it says as equality, which is the seventh incorrect word in this audio, in this question. Alright guys? Well done. Post down in the comments below how many of these 7 and or incorrect words you were able to locate for this first question, guys. We do have another question for you today. So I'm gonna prepare the audio for you guys. Okay, so pace yourself. I'm gonna give you around 5 seconds for this. Alright, pace yourself and write down on a piece of paper on the incorrect words that you heard. Which you heard when compared to this text. All right, 3, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here's the second audio, guys. Yep.
I think the importance of creativity today really reflects a fundamental shift in the nature of the economy. You know, in the old days, wealth was created because in the industrial era, you manufactured something, you got economies of scale, you had long production runs, you were really efficient. You know, you could get a Model T any color just so long it was black, right? So there was standardization. And there was a whole set of assumptions about how to manage, how to create an organization, you know, a typical kind of hierarchical organization to make sure that things ran smoothly. Well, that may be great for a relatively stable era of history, relatively stable, but now things are fundamentally unstable. And so we need less economies of scale and more economies of discovery, which means that the management approach, the organizational approach, has got to shift as well.
Okay guys, that's the second audio. So I hope you guys have written down the text for the incorrect words, and let's have a look at these answers, guys. All right, so I've highlighted the incorrect words in yellow. Right next to them I placed the correct words in the brackets for this question. All right, so I think the importance of creativity today really reflects a fundamental shift. And in the text it says as rift, so this is your first incorrect word, in the nature of the economy. You know, in the old days, wealth was created because in the industrial era, you manufactured everything. But in the audio, it would have said something. You got economies of, so this is your second incorrect word. You got economies of scale. You had the long production runs. You were really efficient. Here it's effective, which is a third incorrect word. You know, you could get a Model T any color as long as it was black, right? So there was standardization. All right, the audio said standardization, but the text said centralization. So this is your fourth incorrect word. And there was a whole set of assumptions about how to manage. All right, so the audio said assumptions, but in the text it was presumptions. So this is your fifth incorrect word. Okay, how to create an organization. You know, a typical kind of hierarchical organization to make sure that things ran smoothly. Well, that may be great for a relatively stable era of history, relatively stable, but now things are fundamentally unstable. In the audio, you would have heard the word fundamentally being repeated, but in the text it says functionally, so it's your sixth incorrect word. And so we need less economies of scale and more economies of discovery. All right, and this is your seventh incorrect word because the audio had said discovery instead of recoveries. All right, which means that the management approach, the organizational approach, has got to shift as well. All right, guys, put down in the comments down below on how many of these 7 incorrect words that you were able to locate for the second question. All right, guys, if you're having a hard time tackling this question, all our premium subscribers who purchase our premium question bank will get access to our strategy for tackling these sort of questions so that you won't miss out a single word. But for these questions, guys, you gotta practice. Though these are not that much important and don't impact your listening score that much, don't sacrifice the easy marks, guys, because you never know. You might get some points contributing this. in order to get your cool 79 plus on your next PTE exam. All right, this is it for today's trial class, guys. So we do offer 3 different question banks for our students. So first one is a $30 question bank, which will be giving you access for 2 weeks, and $50 question bank will be giving you access for 4 weeks, and the $120 question bank will be giving you access for 4 weeks. 12 weeks. So all of these question banks, we will be going through all the strategies and the important tips that you need to keep in mind while tackling all the 20 different types of questions that you'll come across on your PTE academic exam. And we provide templates along with shortcut techniques on how you can tackle questions and if you come across any difficulties in these sort of questions as well. All right, guys. So the link is down in the description below to our website where you can purchase our question bank. Until next class, thanks for watching. See you then. Cheers.